Pi gave me the evidence. I cry for days and lost bunch of weight. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I got divorced about 13 years ago. Ex cheated after eating someone on a girl's weekend and carried on for several months until I caught on. She was infatuated, and counseling was a joke. She lied the entire time and I ended up walking out of a session and we just ended up getting divorced. I raised my kids, she had just checked out. Weird, unexplainable stuff, and it killed me. I connected with someone I half knew from grade school, but didn't really remember, and over time we connected on a level I have never experienced before. We raised our kids together. She was divorced and cheated previously but didn't tell me for a while. We had a pretty solid relationship and were getting ready for the next step, kids out, buy a house, and finally tie the knot. We had a terrific summer, then she started acting different around the beginning of September. Looking back, there was some of this in July and August too. Randomly she would get mad at me and yell at me about nothing. It came to a head in October with her starting another ridiculous argument, telling me I want to break up with her but am afraid to. Calling me every name imaginable, and hanging up on me. I left for a tip shortly after, and she wouldn't answer me, email, text, calls. And texted my friends asking when I was going to be back. I found this out later. I had a gut feeling, so I returned home early, went directly to see her and she immediately said sit down. This relationship isn't working and has to end. I asked her if there was a guy involved and she said yes. The next day she changed her story to there is no guy. Said I misunderstood. Anyway, I nearly lost my mind. I didn't yell, I just asked questions. She immediately sprang up and yelled about so many fabricated things about our relationship spanning years. For an hour and a half. In between breaths I asked her for a hug. She hugged me, then she calmly talked, then screamed again. She asked me to leave and said she'd call me in an hour. She never did. She wouldn't return a text, call, email. I hired a Pi and confirmed she's seeing someone. After being my most trusted person for 11.5 years. I am blown away. Cried every day for 4 weeks, lost 26 pounds, been in the hospital, I'm still so screwed up. Here's the rub. She is telling everyone she has no interest in this guy. It's not romantic, he is much older, etc. Not me. She told me they are dating but tells my friends, her friends, co-workers there is nothing romantic. She is telling everyone she is so screwed up, sad, depressed and heartbroken. I don't get it. Is she saying this because she is afraid this guy is going to blow her off? So she'll save face if he does. And why is she heartbroken and telling everyone this? Told my son some strange stuff too, but that I can understand. It's the people she doesn't think I will hear from. Is it to not look like a whore? I still miss her terribly, but how could I ever trust someone who cut me off cold turkey after many years and mostly a great, normal relationship? The new guy is pretty wealthy. Strangest thing I have ever dealt with and the hardest thing for me personally in my life. From best friends to get out I'll call you, to zero in a blink. I've never been so sick and sad, and the stats all say it takes 2 to 4 years to get over betrayal, and I lived it before and it did take a very long time to feel completely happy again, even with working out every day, and meeting a new woman 11.5 years ago. This one hurts more. I loved her way more than my ex. Still do, but working on it. Why is she still saying she's heartbroken and no one understands? Any insight is appreciated. Her parents divorced when she was very young, maybe 5. Her dad just left out of the blue. Came back a year or 2 later and they remarried and stayed together like best friends. Makes me wonder. Second story. Last night I got into a fight with my partner after she told me that she only left her AP because I told her that she could get sued for sexual harassment and lose her job in the process. The reason for that is she was having an affair with her subordinate. Today when she came home she did this entire song and dance crying saying she didn't remember saying that or anything else last night. I'm done. She can't even say she loves me like she means it any longer. I asked her when she fell out of love with me. She said she didn't, but there was no honesty in her voice. It's a few days before Christmas and I've just been laid off effective December 24th. I'm done with her and I'm done with my toxic work environment. She never loved me. She had been using me the entire time. I feel pretty hurt, but I'm so done with her. I called my local domestic violence line and feel they gave me pretty good advice when they told me to go get myself a place as I'm interviewing and processing my layoff. I was told to give myself the side that I need to do so in a safe place. I started to look for a hotel just night in my area and learned it would cost around $1,000 for the week. I didn't want to book a hotel last night, but then I realized she wasted my entire night that I could have been applying to jobs and interview prepping for the 5 interviews that I have tomorrow. I've got to get the heck out of here and not look back. I don't need her any longer and she feels that. I'm really happy about that part. I'm also psyched that I'll be earning more money than her after I change jobs as well. I'm so done with her. I just want to get on a plane and fly away. I work remotely and my next job will be fully remote as well. We own a house together and that's the only tie that binds us at this time. It's time I find an attorney after I get a new job and move out of here. It's a duplex and I've thought about giving a no-cause eviction to my tenant so I can go live in the other side of the duplex until getting rid of this house has been finalized. Living here would be more economical than getting an apartment. However, I no longer want to be near her. I'm on my own again. I could use a little support and some new friends. She's isolated me away from my friends so much so that I've lost most of them during the pandemic. I'm a good friend who is trustworthy. I don't deserve her or her treatment. I'm just done and excited to get away from her. I fear I'll be lonely, but know in the long run I'll be okay. I also realize that there's a ton of people out there that would love to be my friend and they are just waiting to meet me. I'm finally in a headspace where I'm excited to meet them too. If you've read this far, thank you. If you haven't, here are some best comments from community. Thank you for your kind words. I've been in touch with some of my old friends this missing. I didn't have the courage to tell them what happened. I feel embarrassed about it. However, I did feeling the courage and strength to reach out to a DV resource center and had a really great call with them and found plenty of resources. I have 4 job interviews today, so I'm hoping those go well. If those go well, I won't feel like I need to walk softly around my partner any longer. She's already getting the front that I no longer need her and I do like that. It actually feels snowing empowering. I've also gotten myself into therapy and that's helping as well. Be open and honest with your friends about the hows and whys of dropping out of contact. Now that your eyes have been open to you being in an abusive relationship, you will find that far from being embarrassed, your friends will be empathic and sympathetic. The openness and honesty is often seen as a key to recovering and moving on and coming to terms with what has happened. It definitely aids and assists you and stops you from locking yourself off from your support network. As regards your STBXW, play it calm and file. Do the right things and say the right things and play the amicable game. And once the smoke has settled and then the papers are signed, drop a nice note to her employer's HR and burn her world down as a final parting gift. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.